The sun, a fiery orb, began its slow descent over the Volta River, painting the Ghanaian sky in hues of orange and purple. Nana Ya, her fingers deftly weaving strands of kente, felt a familiar ache in her heart. Her people, the Iwe, had been locked in a silent, simmering rivalry with the Ashanti for generations, a feud rooted in ancient land disputes and a shared yet fiercely guarded history of craftsmanship. Her elders spoke of the Ashanti with caution, their voices laced with an unspoken warning. But for Nana Ya, the animosity felt distant, a story passed down rather than a lived reality. She often wondered if the river, which flowed impartially between their lands, knew the futility of their divisions. Her intricate patterns, each thread a whisper of tradition, seemed to mimic the complex tapestry of her own yearning. One sweltering afternoon, during a rare, sacred market truce, a time when both tribes could trade their wares under a temporary peace, Nana Ya ventured further than she ever had. She was searching for a particular dye, a deep indigo, extracted from a rare plant that only grew near the Ashanti's sacred groves. Her grandmother, Elder Kwesi's sister, had tasked her with finding it, hinting at a new, complex design that required its unique shade. As she navigated the bustling market, the air thick with the scent of spices and the chatter of unfamiliar tongues, her eyes met his. He stood tall amongst his people, clad in the distinctive fugu of the Ashanti, his gaze direct and unnervingly captivating. Prince Kofi, she later learned from whispers, was known for his sharp mind and his disdain for the old feuds. A jolt, like a small lightning strike, passed through her. It wasn't just his striking appearance, it was the intense understanding in his eyes, a mirroring of her own unspoken curiosity. He offered a small, almost imperceptible nod, a gesture of respect that transcended tribal lines. Nana Ya, usually composed, found herself flushing, her heart thumping against her ribs like a trapped bird. She quickly averted her gaze, pretending to examine a pile of intricate beads, but the image of his face was seared into her mind. The forbidden seed had been planted, a dangerous sprout in the fertile ground of her youth, threatening to blossom into something that could unravel generations of fragile peace. The dye, for now, was forgotten. Their encounters became more frequent, though always accidental and brief, under the guise of the market truce. They would exchange quick smiles, stolen glances, and sometimes a few carefully chosen words about the weather or the quality of a trader's goods. Each stolen moment was a tightrope walk over a chasm of tribal animosity. Nana Ya learned that Prince Kofi shared her secret fascination with traditional weaving, not as a royal duty, but as a genuine artistic passion. He spoke of patterns and dyes with an enthusiasm that mirrored her own, a shared language that bypassed the unspoken rules of their elders. His insights into Ashanti motifs, their hidden meanings and stories, captivated her. One day, Prince Kofi boldly approached her, not in the market, but near the river's edge, a place less frequented during the truce. The sun dipped low, casting long, purple shadows, and the air was thick with the croaking of frogs. He held out a small, intricately carved wooden bird, a symbol of communication in his tribe. My mother, Queen Mother Ajoa, is holding a weaving competition for all skilled artisans, he explained, his voice low and rich. The prize is an apprenticeship with the royal weavers. It is open to all tribes. His eyes held hers, a silent invitation, a challenge to defy the invisible barrier between them. Nana Ya's heart hammered. To participate meant entering the heart of the Ashanti village, a place strictly forbidden for Iwi tribespeople outside of sanctioned market days. It was a clear provocation,
a direct challenge to the ancient laws. Elder Kwesi had often warned her of the slippery tongues of the Ashanti, cautioning her against their charms. But the lure of the competition, the chance to showcase her skill and learn from the renowned Ashanti weavers, was a powerful pull. More than that, it was the unspoken promise in Prince Kofi's eyes, a bridge across the divide, built thread by dangerous thread. She knew accepting would be seen as a death wish by her people, a betrayal of everything they stood for.
The decision gnawed at Nana Ya like a persistent termite. She confided in her grandmother, a woman known for her quiet wisdom and unconventional spirit. Her grandmother, Elder Kwesi's sister, listened intently, her eyes twinkling with a knowing glint. "Sometimes the old paths must be overgrown for new ones to emerge, little weaver," she had said, her voice a soft rustle of dry leaves. "But be warned, the roots of rivalry run deep, and the soil is unforgiving." Armed with this cryptic blessing, Nana Ya prepared for the journey. She designed a kente cloth unlike any seen before, a tapestry that would not only showcase her Ewe heritage, but subtly incorporate motifs she had learned from Prince Kofi about Ashanti legends, a clandestine blending of forbidden knowledge. News of an Ewe participant in the Ashanti weaving competition spread like wildfire through Nana Ya's village, turning heads and fueling angry whispers. Elder Kwesi, the 65-year-old Ewe tribal elder, confronted her, his weathered face a mask of disappointment and concern. "This is an insult to our ancestors, Nana Ya. You tread a dangerous path, one that could ignite the embers of old wars," he boomed, his voice resonating with tribal authority. He recounted tales of ancient betrayals, of stolen lands and broken trusts, each word a heavy chain binding her to the past. He reminded her of her duty, her lineage, and the sacred trust placed upon her as a skilled weaver of the airway.
Despite the dire warnings, Nana Ya'a remained resolute. She knew the risks, the potential ostracization from her own people, the danger of being seen as a traitor. But a deeper calling, a pull towards something greater than tribal divides, propelled her forward. She believed that true artistry transcended boundaries, that beauty could build bridges where animosity had erected walls. With a heart pounding with a mixture of fear and fierce determination, she packed her carefully prepared kente cloth, its vibrant threads holding the secret message of her defiance. She was ready to face Queen Mother Adwa, the Ashanti royal court, and whatever destiny awaited her.
The Ashanti village was a vibrant explosion of color and sound, far grander than Nana Ya had imagined. Golden stools gleamed, royal umbrellas cast majestic shadows, and the air thrummed with the beat of drums and the calls of traders. Her appearance caused a stir, whispers rippling through the crowd like wind through tall grass. She felt every eye on her, a tiny Ewe bird in a magnificent Ashanti nest. Prince Kofi, the 19-year-old Ashanti prince, met her at the entrance to the royal courtyard, his piercing dark brown eyes filled with a mixture of relief and admiration. He offered a discreet nod, a silent acknowledgement of her courage, and led her to the designated weaving pavilion. The weaving competition was a dazzling display of skill. Artisans from various Ashanti clans showcased their masterpieces, intricate patterns depicting battles, proverbs, and royal lineage. Nana Ya, though nervous, found her rhythm as she unveiled her kente. It was a bold fusion, the strong geometric patterns of her Ewe heritage intertwined with subtle, flowing Ashanti symbols of unity and peace. The crowd, initially murmuring with curiosity, fell silent as they absorbed the cloth's unique narrative. It was beautiful, undeniably so, but its message was dangerously subversive, a silent plea for harmony woven into every thread. Then came the moment of judgment. Queen Mother Ajoa, the 55-year-old Ashanti Queen Mother, regal and unyielding in her kente finery, approached Nana Ya's loom. Her sharp, intelligent, dark eyes meticulously scanned the cloth, her expression unreadable. Nana Ya held her breath, aware of the tension thickening in the pavilion. The Queen Mother's gaze lingered on a particular section, where an Ewe symbol of steadfastness embraced an Ashanti motif of shared wisdom. A ripple of unease passed through the Ashanti elders, seated beside their queen. This was not just a weaving competition. It was a test of loyalty, a potential challenge to ancient taboos.
A tense silence descended as Queen Mother Adwa finally spoke, her voice measured and clear. "This weaver," she announced, her gaze sweeping across the pavilion, "has dared to intertwine threads of two estranged rivers. It is a beauty, yes, but a dangerous one." Her words hung heavy in the air, a sword poised over Nana Ya's head. The Ashanti elders murmured in agreement, their faces grim. Prince Kofi, standing slightly behind his mother, shifted uneasily, his jaw tight. This was not the acceptance they had hoped for, but a public condemnation, a subtle humiliation. Nana Ya's heart sank, the vibrant colors of her kente now feeling like a shroud. Just as the Queen Mother prepared to announce the winner, bypassing Nana Ya's entry entirely, a shocking development unfolded. A junior elder, a man known for his meticulous record-keeping, rushed forward, a weathered parchment clutched in his hand. He knelt before the Queen Mother, his voice trembling. "Queen Mother, a forgotten prophecy. It speaks of a time when the weaver of two worlds would bring forth a truth that unites our divided lands, woven into the very fabric of our shared destiny." The entire pavilion gasped. Prophecies were sacred, immutable, and this one, revealed at this precise moment, threw the competition into unprecedented turmoil. The prophecy, it turned out, detailed a sacred ritual. A weaver from a rival tribe, guided by destiny, would present a cloth so unique it would foretell either profound unity or irreversible conflict. If the cloth's patterns, when laid upon the ancient golden stool, revealed a specific, long-forgotten constellation, it would signify the dawn of a new era of peace. If not, it would confirm eternal discord. The junior elder explained that the prophecy had been hidden for generations, considered too dangerous to speak aloud until the weaver of two worlds appeared. The Queen Mother, though visibly shaken, had no choice. Prophecy was law.
The golden stool, the most sacred symbol of the Ashanti people, was brought forth with utmost reverence. Its gleaming surface, imbued with the souls of their ancestors, seemed to pulse with an ancient energy. Nana Ya, her heart a drum, was guided to place her kente cloth upon it. The air in the pavilion crackled with anticipation. Ashanti warriors stood guard, their faces grim, ready for any sign of ill omen. The weight of generations, of feuds and fragile truces pressed down on her shoulders. She looked at Prince Kofi, his eyes a silent plea for their shared hope. Then at Queen Mother Adwa, whose regal composure now seemed tinged with a deep, unsettling fear. As the vibrant kente settled onto the stool, a hush fell so profound that the rustle of a single leaf outside would have been heard. All eyes were on the cloth, then on the ceiling of the pavilion. Slowly, as if guided by an unseen force, a shaft of sunlight pierced through a hidden opening in the intricately woven roof, illuminating the kente.
And there, against the deep indigo and rich reds, a configuration of gold and white threads began to glow faintly, precisely matching the celestial map described in the ancient prophecy. It was the constellation of Ahuhi, the constellation of destiny and harmony, a star formation rarely seen and long believed to be a myth. A collective gasp echoed through the pavilion, followed by a surge of murmurs. Queen Mother Adwa's eyes widened in profound shock, her rigid posture finally softening. Even the stoic Ashanti warriors seemed to relax their stance, their faces easing from grimness to astonishment. Prince Kofi let out a barely audible breath, a flicker of triumph in his eyes as he met Nana Ya's gaze. The prophecy had been fulfilled. Her dangerous beauty, her audacious blend of tribal patterns had not brought forth conflict, but the undeniable sign of destined unity. It was a scandal of divine proportion, a betrayal of old hatreds by the hand of fate itself.
The revelation sent shockwaves far beyond the Ashanti royal court. News of the Weaver of Two Worlds and the fulfilled prophecy reached Nana Ya's Iwe village swiftly, carried by market traders and curious travelers. Initially, Elder Kwesi and the Iwe elders were furious, seeing it as an Ashanti trick, a cunning ploy to undermine their traditions. However, the sheer unexpectedness of the prophecy's timing, combined with the detailed accounts of the glowing constellation, began to chip away at their resistance. They had always respected ancient prophecies, even those from rival tribes, for their power was seen as divinely ordained. Queen Mother Adwoa, in an unprecedented move, sent a formal delegation to the Iwe village, led by Prince Kofi himself. It was a perilous journey, a crossing of forbidden lines, but one mandated by destiny. Prince Kofi, accompanied by senior Ashanti elders, arrived carrying not weapons, but gifts, finely carved wooden figures, rich kola nuts, and a message of peace, all under the banner of the newly interpreted prophecy. He spoke eloquently, his voice resonating with sincerity, explaining how Nana Ya's barrage had unlocked a centuries-old secret, a path to unity foreseen by their common ancestors. The Iwe elders, though wary, could not deny the weight of the prophecy. Elder Kwesi, after much deliberation and consultation with his own spiritual advisors, conceded that fate had indeed intervened. The scandal of Nana Ya's forbidden love, which had seemed like a death wish, was now reinterpreted as a divine calling, a catalyst for a destined reconciliation. The traditional animosity, once a defining feature of their identities, now seemed outdated, almost foolish, in the face of such a powerful spiritual sign. The river, which had once been a divider, now beckoned as a bridge.
In the months that followed, Nana Ya and Prince Kofi, now hailed as the catalysts of a new era, initiated a series of cultural exchanges between their tribes. The weaving competition, once a point of contention, transformed into an annual festival celebrating shared artistry and understanding. Nana Ya, under the guidance of both Iwe and Ashanti master weavers, including the Royal Ashanti weavers, refined her skills, becoming a true weaver of two worlds. Her designs now celebrated by both peoples as symbols of unity. Her forbidden love had not only survived, but had become the very foundation of reconciliation, proving that destiny truly had a hand in their defiance. Their story, once whispered as a scandalous death wish, became a legendary tale sung by griots from both tribes. It spoke of courage, of challenging ancient hatreds, and of the power of love to transcend artificial divides. Nana Ya achieved her goals, not by conquering, but by connecting. She became a symbol of a new Ghana, where tribal distinctions enriched rather than divided. Her artistry flourished, her hands weaving not just cloth, but the very fabric of peace. And as for Prince Kofi, His destiny as a leader was solidified not by martial prowess, but by his wisdom in embracing change and fostering understanding. He often stood by Naniya's side, their hands occasionally brushing, a silent testament to the love that had defied generations of animosity. The Volta River continued to flow, but now it sang a different song, a melody of unity, reflecting the blended hues of Kente that draped the shores of a newly forged peace. Their love, born in defiance, had become the thread that bound their nations.